What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I've been listening to conversations about Deontay Wilder and Zane. I've been paying attention to the posts, to the comments, and one thing that amazes me about life is just watching history repeat itself. Watching people fall for the same okey doke over and over, time after time after time. It's like watching gazelles, you know, go to these lakes and rivers and they're drinking from the water and they see these two black humps come up and they're just drinking and looking and drinking and looking, and all of a sudden these big teeth come out of nowhere, grab them and pull them in. And all the gazelles that witness it fall for the same thing. They take off and run. Then all of a sudden they all watch these same two little black humps coming and fall for the same thing and die the same way every time. Now, of course, at some point, some of them are going to escape, but eventually, a lot of them are still going to die the same way. Damn, I know every time those two humps come, something bad happens. But maybe I'll be lucky this time. And they just keep drinking, got him. Now, what amazes me is how quiet the Alphabet Boys, everybody else is being about Deontay Wilder signing with Matchroom. What also amazes me is the excuses. And this is what I thought about from listening to things and reading things. If Deontay Wilder wins this fight with Zhang, it will be a sign of relief for Wilder fans. Not only because he won, but because they know what's going to be talked about. Desperation on Wilder's behalf. Wilder got to the point he got so desperate he signed with the enemy. Let's not ever be unclear on this, okay? Wilder actually called Eddie Hearn a racist, okay? Indirectly called him a racist. No, he actually called him a racist. He basically said, and his fanboys love to repeat what he say, and then he repeat what his fanboys say, okay? Wilder said Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are fake. They are not who you think they are. I remember 7-8 Sports covered that same interview and said Anthony Joshua is over there buck dancing for Eddie Hearn. I failed to see how he was buck dancing. Then Wilder repeated that same quote, that he's over there buck dancing for Eddie Hearn, and he was on his show and said the same thing, and they're back and forth, sniggling, laughing, everything is ha ha ha. Yeah, he's over there buck dancing for him, this and that, and I'm trying to understand where they're coming from. So they went with this whole narrative that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn didn't want the fight. Let's just go back even to the night that Wilder lost. Wilder went as so far as to say people close to him was in the same room with Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua and said that Anthony Joshua was planning on retiring. He actually said, if Wilder wins this fight against Parker, I'm going to retire. Now, we've seen the video clips of, AJ sitting there chilling, getting his hand wrapped and just, chilling, relaxing. The funny thing about it is, when 70 Sports asked him, did he want to elaborate on the talk about Wilder and Anthony Joshua had already signed contracts to fight each other prior to them getting in the ring with Joseph Parker and Otto Ali. You remember what Wilder said? Got quiet. Man, they don't want to fight, you know, man. There's a lot going on, and right? They talked about how happy Anthony Joshua was when he lost. Remember, man, I was cracking the fuck up. That nigga happy as hell I lost. And I said, damn, you are so delusional that for some reason you don't realize the joke is on you. You think it's funny. You think the joke is on AJ because AJ came to the ring smiling. So that automatically meant AJ was going to win because you lost. Then you took credit for Anthony Joshua winning against Wally, right? Man, I can pull up so many videos and we can sit here and go over all of these videos where he called Eddie Hearn a snake in the grass. Yo, he's holding AJ back. They really tried to run with this narrative that it was Joshua and Eddie Hearn who didn't want to fight. We all know who all the offers came from. They didn't make no real offers from the Wilder camp. That fake 50 million bullshit that these fake ass people keep bringing up like it was real. You know, no. At the end of the day, the way they did that would be like someone walking up to you saying, hey, listen, in this briefcase, I have something that may either enhance your life or it might take your life. It could be valuable to you. It could be detrimental. Take it or leave it. Well, what's in it? No questions. Take it or leave it. Do you want this or no? Right? I say you should take it and find out what's in it. What if that motherfucker got a bomb in there? What if you open that shit and it's some airborne, some like anthrax? Just say, what if? You don't know that, right? So are you that desperate that you're gonna, well, you know what? What if I don't take it and it's money in here? It's something valuable. It's, right? Well, why would they be giving it to you if it was something valuable, right? If it was something worth having, why wouldn't a person come up to you and just explain to you what's in it, right? Because that's pretty much how unprofessional that shit was that they did. And they only did that because Anthony Joshua had an interview and he said, hey, listen, if they offer me $50 million, you can fight tomorrow. Okay, let's call this bluff. This is how childish people are, and they don't get it. No negotiations, just take it or leave it. Okay, now bottom line is, he went through all of this, talking about how his team is solid. Oh, they changing trainers, they changing everything. I got the same team I started with, right? Everything. Then he ends up firing who? The black man. The black man, Mark Breland. Not JD's who's sitting there and watched the hand gets wrapped. Right? Then this dude turns around. Remember, even in the Fury fight, it's us versus them. All of this talking, trying to rally the troops up, trying to get the black people behind him, right? Did it to this day, you know, the rap he did and all that. And I'm like, okay, cool, right? But I'm just looking at how everything this man does. I've never once heard these LDBC people or whoever, I've never heard them once critique anything about him. The only person I ever heard say something about him, and I feel like he must didn't get an interview or something, was upset because he's supporting this guy. And he's not getting time to you know, come on his platform, have him on his platform for an interview or something. I don't know. Or maybe he bet money and lost money. And that was Dante's Boxing Nation, because I remember him saying, you know, just because you want a guy to win him when he's going to, I mean, you know, Deontay got to work on everything, man. That lazy ass jab, no footwork. That he actually got so frustrated, he said that about Wilder, right? And it was like, okay, that's the only time. Now, there was actually 2 times, but the reason I say that was the only time is because the other guy, I think that was the Boxing Voice, got mad because he got his video flagged with the Chris Colbert interview, okay? For saying that Wilder wasn't going to beat Fury, right? And he came out and said how he lied for Wilder all this time, was covering up for his lack of skills and everything. he was riding for Wilder, and Wilder gonna flag his video, and he called Wilder every kind of name in the book. Now, this is what I'm saying. If Wilder should win this fight, they're gonna want to try to get away from everything about him signing with Matchroom. I don't care if it's just for one fight, but whatever it may be. But they're gonna try to get away from all of that. They don't want people to bring it up and let them know that they're hypocrites. They said all of this shit. According to them, it's like, you know what? Let me tell you something. The type of mentality that those guys have, Deontay Wilder signing with Matchroom is like signing with the fucking KKK. They called Eddie Hearn a racist. They say he wasn't about shit. He's using Anthony Joshua's stupid black ass, and Anthony Joshua don't see it that way because he's British, but he's black. Well, he ain't put like this. He British, but he black, and to them, they using him because it's like always the white man always uses for our strength and our power and all that. I mean, they went through all of this shit that they were saying, right? I'm saying I don't understand where all this shit came from, that being directed at Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. Then I'm like, okay, what the fuck is Shelly Finkel, right? He's white. So what exactly is Anthony Joshua doing that you say he's buck dancing? I mean, for that matter, I watched a grown man in Deontay Wilder stand there and was asked a question about fighting against Vladimir Klitschko. And Shelly Finkel stepped in for him. He's just a baby. We're not going to put him in there with the likes of a Vladimir Klitschko. This man was all of 30 years old. Oh, but Aries, you got to understand, he still was kind of green, right? And he was like 30 fights in, right? 30 years old. Anthony Joshua was champion in his 15th fight or something like that? 15th or 16th fight or something like that? Okay. And he never went backwards. He kept going forward. So he got to the point where he was fighting better competition as he was developing. So you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, if he'd have fought them same dudes that Wilder fought, he'd still be undefeated too. So at the end of the day, it's like this. They did all of this name calling and saying that AJ was buck dancing and Eddie Hearn's a fucking racist, and you can tell. I mean, they just was saying some shit on them channels, and I'm like, it'd be one thing if the shit was true, like you could see. It's like, I mean, come on, man. You heard me get on Paulie's ass. Look, I don't care who you are. I'll get on anybody for doing bullshit. But they said all of these things, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, throughout those years and even to most recent, just saying, let's go to the loss with Parker. Always just say, all of those things that they said about Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and I know that motherfucker happy as hell. He ain't got to fight me, and he's still thinking the fight's on. Eddie Hearn, he a snake. He ain't shit. Blah blah blah. Anthony Joshua, this and that. I mean, all of these things, and now all of a sudden, Deontay Wilder, he's a victim of the swirl. He done jumped on the other side. He done went on over there to the Matchroom and started buck dancing for the white man. Hey, Bomb Squad fans, don't boo me. Why can't I buck dance if I wants to? Is he buck dancing now? If Deontay Wilder loses this fight to Zhang, and especially if he goes in there and get destroyed, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. And watch when it happens, you're going to say, damn, Aries, how you be knowing this shit? If he goes in there and gets his ass whooped by Zhang, or just get stretched, one punch, whatever, but he goes and get beat the fuck up, let me tell y'all what's going to happen. These so-called Wilder fans are going to have no more use for him. They're going to say Wilder was fucking stupid. He sold the fuck out. He himself said all these things about Eddie Hearn. We already know this shit. They knew Wilder wasn't the same. Eddie Hearn used that to his advantage. Remember, they turned the $50 million down. So now all of a sudden now they bring him in there. They knew he wasn't the same. They knew it. And they brought him in there knowing he wasn't going to beat Zhang. They knew Wilder wasn't the same. So they want to give him a dangerous opponent, you know what I'm saying, to make sure he didn't get that fight with AJ. So AJ wouldn't have to fight him. They wanted to make sure. Yeah. Because if Wilder was the same, he'd have beat Zhang. Man, Wilder fucking fuck. Wilder stupid. Fuck Wilder. Wilder stupid. He sold the fuck out. That's what happened, man. You make a deal with the devil. Watch you gonna hear some shit like that if Zhang beats this motherfucker. Now, if he beat Zhang, like I said, they're gonna try to whatever and try to make excuses. Like some of them already. Like you said, sometimes you gotta do business with people you don't like, and you know what I'm saying. But yeah. And it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse if he beat Zhang and he do get the Joshua and AJ going to stretch his ass, and then it's going to be worse. Why? Because the truth is they much rather him lose to Zhang than Anthony Joshua. They just don't realize that shit right now. Why? Because if he loses to Zhang, well, that means that's another loss. They don't want to see him lose. But that visual that they're never gonna be able to get out their head of Wilder laying stretched the fuck out after fucking AJ done knocked his ass out is gonna haunt them. Why? They've been screaming and preaching for the longest that AJ's not on Wilder's level. They've been saying that shit for the longest, so they hate to be wrong. And they know that anybody can go in their archives and pull up their bullshit and go, yeah, remember you said XYZ? Yeah. And then they're going to turn their backs on Wilder should he lose this fight. Now, if he fought and put up a good fight, don't get me wrong, all of them are not going to immediately turn on him, like right away. But the ones with the content and that's got these channels, because listen, the more memes that's put up, the more they clown Wilder, the more they make a mockery of him, oh, you better believe it. The more people come in their comment sections laughing at them and it's like, yo, you talking all this racist shit, and this motherfucker went over there signed with the devil. Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying about people standing on business. You run your mouth and say all of this shit. That's why Wilder felt the need to say sometimes you find yourself, having to do business with people you don't really like. You don't like the man. You stand up there smiling, taking pictures with him, shaking his hand. So you're showing us that you have this phony diva fucking vibe about yourself. If I don't like you, I don't like you. You understand what I'm saying? But you're willing to do business with someone you don't like. Okay, then rehire Mark Breland then. Was your water poisoned when Parker beat the shit out of you? When you got in the cryo chamber, did Mark Breland sneak in there and hold the door closed so you could stay in there longer than you needed to and you couldn't get on? See, all of these things, right? But people don't think about that. So when they turn on Wilder, believe me, let me tell you something. If Zhang goes in there and take care of business like he's supposed to, you're going to see what I'm telling you. And people going to be mad motherfucking Wilder because why? I'm talking all this shit sticking up for you now. People clowning me and getting on my nerves because you went there and lost. Oh, believe me. They're going to say Wilder was brought in as a sacrificial lamb because he wasn't the same. Bottom line. Zhang didn't take the type of punishment through his career that Wilder did. You know what I'm saying? Like, due to Fury cheating with the gloves. Trust me. They're going to try to use and justify all their bullshit with all the fucking videos they done made for saying Fury cheated with Glovegate and all this kind of stuff and all this shit. Like, that they're dumb because, like, even for the poison water thing, your urine came back clean. So how was your poison? Right? So all of these things, they're going to make excuses, but they're going to bury him. He's no longer relevant. They get no more use out of him. You understand what I'm saying? And it's going to be fuck Wilder, Wilder this, Wilder that. Watch what I tell you. I've never in my life seen so many people at one point, even right now, bashing Wilder that used to cheer for him. Some of these same motherfuckers that get attitudes when you say the things about him that you say, about his lack of skill, his lack of dedication to the sport, his lack of respect to the sport, his naiveness and not understanding that you need to be at your sharpest and at your best. And training, doing what you're supposed to do is what gets you there. Not half-assing it. But to them, but why y'all hating on Wilder? All that goofy nonsense, that childish nonsense. Watch what happens if he loses this fight. Trust me when I tell you. And me telling you, when you step up in competition and because of your lack of skill, you lose. So I guess if Zhang beats him too, that's just another coincidence. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. We know a lot of time. Look, you can shoot a gun. You can skillfully aim, or you can just be, and it comes down to whose bullet hit first. That's all. Whose bullet hit and who's missed. Simple. So yeah, we know Zhang could be dominating and get knocked out. What we don't, and we also know Wilder can't box, so we know that as far as Wilder getting ahead in the fight is like Zhang, that would mean Zhang is doing absolutely nothing because Wilder can't box. But we know that he can land that punch, but Zhang can also land that punch. Bottom line though is, for Wilder to lose, it'll be just another coincidence, right? Nah, Wilder's not the same. And trust me, the excuses will come in, but they're going to turn on Wilder. They're already turning on him. In fact, they were questioning Malik Scott as well because he wasn't talking about Anthony Joshua and he wasn't making excuses. He said, look, we lost. We just have to deal with that. They don't like that shit. Nah, Malik, you ain't riding for your nigga. You supposed to be like, nah, man, fuck that. Just like in the Fury fight, he got cheated. You know what I'm saying? Wilder hadn't been active. They shouldn't have put him in there with Parker. They should have gave him somebody that was, inactive, just like he was, blah, blah, blah. So it's on an even playing. That's the shit that was pissing them off about what Malik Scott's saying. And I made a video about it. That's what I'm saying about these people. They're fickle, man. So for Deontay Wilder, you better win this fight, boy. You lose, that's going to surely be your ass. Like you said, this might be your last dance, your last chance. And you want to know what's going to happen? The same way they talk that shit about AJ, they going to be like, that motherfucker went over there buck dancing for Eddie Hearn. People who don't give a fuck about his Wilder as much as y'all claim to, going to even bring those things up. Well, wait, man, y'all said AJ was over there buck dancing for the white man. So why he go over there with the white man and buck dance? What was all that about? Why couldn't he, look, for example, look at the card that they're about to put on when you're going to have Jarrell Miller and Andy Ruiz. Why couldn't they do the same thing for Wilder? It's obviously, right, that it's, look, Wilder's on the card with Zhang, but you understand, like, what I'm saying is, where was the motivation if Wilder had that type of impact over here in the States, even for people outside the States that want to work with him? If he had that type of impact, why nobody made that type of effort to say, nah, man, this guy deserves better than what he's getting and make the fights happen? Or was it just Wilder? You understand what I'm saying? Why? It's going to be questions. And the more they bury you, because they know that they're right, the more you're going to bury Wilder. Why? Because you don't want to be wrong. And y'all know all this time, y'all been fucking overhyping this guy, talking like he's better than what he is. Y'all know that. We all know what Wilder. We know what his. We know what his. What his. We know he brings the right hand to the table. Bottom line, we already know that. We know what Wilder brings to the table, so it's no secret. It's no secret. Just like we know all his weaknesses, it's no secret. And you know that y'all just been hyping him up, and then even to say, yo, he's a black American champion. Okay, cool. I could even ride with you on that. But at the same time, I'm just not the type of person to make excuses up and then lie and then go along with agendas. That's the problem I had with all of them in terms of me, like, going on their channels and chopping it up with them and doing lives with them. Like, nah, I don't want to chop it up with y'all. Y'all full of shit. That's the thing. Like, y'all not fair and y'all make up things. I don't have a problem that you stick up for black folks. Hell, nobody else do it for us. I stick up, but I stick up for a reason. And I don't stick up for us to lie and make excuses. Y'all just be on some twisted cricket shit, but you watch what happens should Wilder lose this fight. You watch what happens. So at the end of the day, there's no black American champion, white American champion. There's no heavyweight from America that even look like they're going to do anything special. And no, not Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson is his biggest enemy. He's his worst enemy, and he doesn't have the dedication to boxing. So how are we going to get behind a guy like that? Then look at his last performance. Just saying, yeah, the guy that fought, he didn't come to fight. Didn't I tell you that before? The guy said he has absolutely nothing to prove. all the pressure is on Jared Anderson. And then he made this comment about how he wants to campaign as a bridgeweight anyway, right? Which means he came in probably at his walk-around weight, 230 something, why? So he'd be able to take the shots better or something. All he did was run. Jared Anderson don't even know how to cut off a fucking ring. You understand what I'm saying? So no, it was mostly due to that guy running, but his limitations show. This is my point. So that's not a complete fighter. He didn't do anything. He didn't punish the guy. He didn't come after him. What, you got stamina issues? Jared Anderson is not that guy. Simple. And with that lack of dedication, he won't see that. And that's why it's easy to point the finger at the opponent. But what could have I done different? He don't think that way. His way is the only way. He's stubborn and he's all about what he wants. He's selfish. Yes. So he's not that guy. And that's the thing. They're not going to have anybody else. And you know what's going to happen? The LDBC, all these, they don't cheer for people outside of America. They don't care. So bottom line is, if you're not a black American, they're not, they might, look, who can we cheer for? Maybe somebody Cuban or something, or whatever, somebody from somewhere. But it's just something where they have this mentality. They don't like you because you're not you're not where we're from. So let's boo this person. I don't see him the way I don't want to see him the way y'all do. I don't want to see him for what he actually is. So let's boo him. If Anthony Joshua was a black American, you don't think they'd be saying he's better than Wilder? You don't think they give him the nod over Wilder? If Anthony Joshua was black American, you don't think that right now, to this day, that they'll still be talking about what he just did with Ngannou and with Otto Wilder? Of course they would. See, the problem is when you look at Wilder and you bring up his wins and you say, what's his best win? And you think about it, you got to sit there and think about it for a minute. Do you understand what I'm saying? First and only fight they ever bring up is Luis Ortiz. Because they still want to try to make people feel like Luis Ortiz is that dude who's never accomplished jack shit. Bottom line. So, yeah. And for Wilder, when he says things like AJ takes all the easy fights, just imagine this. What do you think a conversation between Eddie Hearn and Wilder is like off camera? Just imagine Eddie saying, why you be talking shit, talking about I'm a racist and you don't like me, I'm a snake. Do you think Wilder's sitting there going, cuz, man, that's how the fuck I see you. I don't fuck with snakes, so why you sign with Matchroom? Yeah? Why you sign with Matchroom? If you have the type of star power you're talking about, be a free agent. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I make smart investments outside the box, and I got things going on, and right. So that means I don't need boxing. That was his words. He lost his love, his passion. So why you sign with Matchroom? Well, no, you know what? Because that's gonna get him closer to the AJ fight. So you agree he was given a second chance by them bringing him back to fight Zane. Now he needs a big win, yes. But the point, what I'm saying is, the man that beat him and Joseph Parker isn't getting the shot at AJ. They're doing this so Wilder can get that shot. And they're hoping that this is it's a huge money fight. It's either now or never, right? So that's what they would say. But if he loses to Zane, they're not going to say that. They're going to say they knew Wilder was done and they used Zane because Zane was still good. They know Zane put up a better performance than Wilder did, and they used Zane to eliminate Wilder so Anthony Joshua couldn't get to him. So because he didn't, so Anthony Joshua could avoid him. That's the stupid logic they're going to come with. Y'all know everything I say come to fruition, right? When I deep thought these things and just look at this is what, because look, just like I told y'all, Tyson Fury wasn't going to jail. And all these alphabet boys wanted to try to argue, is Fury in jail? I told you Wilder had no proof. No, just you wait. He got proof. Didn't he say he don't have proof? I'm going to go to my grave knowing that he cheated. But it's hard to convince people when you don't have proof. But yeah. Everything. So now Wilder's over there buck dancing for Eddie Hearn. That's what he's doing. So I guess when you black and have a white promoter, but you not American, you a buck dancer. But if you black American and have a white promoter, you're not a buck dancer. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't see how the hell you buck dancing for somebody just because. So in other words, if I managed a white fighter, a Puerto Rican fighter, a Chinese fighter, a fighter, any other ethnicity other than what I am, any nationality other than what I am, that makes me a sellout. I'm buck dancing for that fighter, or that fighter's buck dancing for me. So there's a rule that says I can't manage or promote a fighter that's not from where I'm from. And I mean, you guys are so petty, man, and so full of shit. And to be honest with you, the real racists are the ones that's fucking making this a racist situation. Because I'm sitting there going, I know now, y'all know if I detect any type of racism, y'all know I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. See, y'all ain't give a fuck about what Paulie said about Devin Haney because y'all don't care about Devin Haney. See? But it's funny how when people make racist ass comments, y'all shut the fuck up and y'all quiet. Y'all only speak just to be heard because y'all monetize y'all channels and y'all try to get, y'all already have a certain group of people that's going to check in with y'all for the bias. Y'all got people on y'all channel that go on other channels and say shit like, yo, I'm just here for the AJ hate. I've seen it already. Yeah. I'm here for the Eddie Hearn hate. Man, listen. I wouldn't support any of that nonsense. And if I see anything and I smell bullshit, y'all know I'm going to call out on it. But I'm saying I keep my nose clean. How the fuck can you sit here and not feel some type of way towards Deontay Wilder after y'all talk all that shit, okay, about Eddie Hearn being a racist, okay? Yeah, y'all said, not only did y'all say he was buck dancing, Anthony Joshua, y'all say he over there cooning. He's over there cooning for Eddie Hearn. So yeah. So Wilder's over there cooning for him now too. I mean, all of these claims y'all was making, and it's like, what the fuck is AJ doing to make y'all say that? Y'all can't say anything. He's being used. He's too stupid to see it. Eddie Hearn don't want to fight. So wait. So Eddie Hearn is the reason that the fight didn't happen. Okay. Anthony Joshua don't want the smoke. So which is it? Is it both of them? So it has nothing to do with Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel, who admitted that they turned the fucking $120 million down because DAZN refused to tell them what they was paying AJ. And we know this fight is easy, $300 million fight and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, wow. Okay. So it's obvious that the truth and the facts don't mean nothing to y'all. That's why y'all come up with these stupid ass videos. But when y'all turn on Deontay Wilder, just understand something. There's no black American heavyweights lined up right now. There's nobody. Not Michael Hunter, not Jared Anderson, not Jermaine Franklin, not Jerry Forrest. Like there's nothing. So it's gonna be a long time before y'all can be, feel like you found somebody that can fill Deontay Wilder, fill in for Deontay or replace Deontay, however you want to say it. Because if you're looking at, I tell you what, if you're looking at Jerry Forrest, Jared Anderson, Jermaine Franklin, Michael Hunter, if you're looking at any of them, like it's a possibility that any one of them can step up and be the next great or good or decent heavyweight champion in the world, y'all about to be mad as hell because none of them have it. None of them. They don't have it. And if you look at Jared Anderson, instead of him going forward, he's going backwards with competition. Yet he tries to make it seem like, oh, these guys don't want to fight him. Like, who are you ducking? You think that you're going to get straight to AJ? Or Tyson Fury or Usyk without fighting the Frank Sanchez first? Or Efe Ajagba first at least? Nah, you're tripping, bro. So y'all got nothing. Just saying. Your boy Deontay Wilder sold out. I got to throw it back at you. He's over there cooning and buck dancing for the white man, Eddie Hearn. That's all the shit y'all said. Somehow he wasn't buck dancing and cooning for, Shelly Finkel, right? But yeah, I don't. And the funny thing is, You know, I don't see him as buck dancing or cooning for Eddie Hearn. I don't see him as buck dancing or cooning for his promoter, Shirley Finkel. But y'all, I'm just going off y'all words, that AJ was doing it. So yeah, now he's over there buck dancing and cooning. They taking turns next to each other over there buck dancing and cooning for Eddie Hearn. You understand what I mean? Y'all are some real funny people, man. Like y'all make these stupid ass claims. Y'all talk just to talk. And then every time y'all hear black people go at it, like y'all hear this shit between Javante and Floyd, and y'all are quick to want to jump in and take sides and play the whole who's a real nigga and who's a bitch nigga. That's the problem. Y'all are okay with being niggas. So now your number one nigga is over there buck dancing with Eddie Hearn. And y'all quiet as fuck. That's what I mean about these cowards, man. They talk so much shit. And they take it beyond boxing and make it personal. But as soon as somebody put their foot in their mouth, shit, nigga over there, man, damn, he making us look bad now. Yeah. So, y'all love the thumbnail, don't y'all? It's very befitting. How y'all feel about Deontay Wilder? And look, let me say, I know Deontay's not the superstar. He's not the star at all that he tried to make people think he is. That his fanboys tried to make him think he is. No fucking way should he have to go all the way across the pond just to get a deal. Anthony Joshua and Derek James had no falling out. He came over and explained what was happening. That it's just the fact he's in the States, and he's in UK and have to keep going back to the States. It's just too much. Right? Alphabet Boys was all over that. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, you know what I'm saying? What it is? With AJ. Motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Derek James. He's not seeing the progress in him. Yeah, I heard the videos. Yeah, I heard the videos. He don't see the progress in him. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, he knows that it's a waste of time working with AJ. AJ just don't have no more, man. AJ was always overrated. The only thing that happened was AJ fought, even when he fought in the ring, you see he's overrated. But they never mentioned the rematch. But you know what I'm saying? And so AJ, he ain't with that. He not used to that American style. How we put it over here is different from the UK. And he ain't used to that. And all this shit just to find out, no, there was no. And I remember reading comments and people was talking all this shit. AJ never wanted to smoke with Wilder. AJ always been scared. Yo, AJ always been soft and weak-minded. Blah, blah, blah. He has not been the same since Andy Ruiz and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because you know Derek James is a no-nonsense type of guy. And he probably intimidate Anthony Joshua just the way his approach to the game, how he train his fighters and this and that. All the goofy shit. Then all of a sudden he comes out and destroys Otto Arlene, then destroys Francis Ngannou, and basically Wilder winds up getting his ass whooped by Joseph Parker. Now all of that shit that y'all said, and you mean to fucking tell me that this man had to go all the way and sign a deal with the UK over Matchroom? He had to sign a deal with Matchroom just to fucking get what? Just to get a fight with Zhang? If it wasn't for the Saudis, Eddie Hearn's involvement and all that, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't even fought Joseph Parker. And his excuses about Joseph Parker was ducking him. And Deontay would say the stupidest shit out of his mouth and then turn around and like Deontay, you always got to say, I believe or I think when you're in front of the person, but off camera, you always say, you know for a fact, you know this, but you never have proof of anything. You can't ever say, we sent Joseph Parker a contract and he turned it down. But out of your own mouth, you said you turned Anthony Joshua down. Turned down a whole lot of money to fight AJ and took a lot less money to fight Fury because you're a man of your word. Remember you said that? Yet, when these people are lying for you, you don't correct them. A real man would say, hey, nah, we ain't gonna do that. No excuses. I lost. Better man won. We bounce back. That's how we roll. Nah. Andy Ruiz wins against AJ. Wilder fans included said something didn't look right with AJ. He just didn't look right. All of a sudden, we get the rumor that Joey DeWaco concussed him. But later on, Serafina clarifies what happened. Yeah. I know y'all was pissed because you know what was so funny? Because when that video came out, not one of them motherfuckers made a video about it. Y'all talked about everything else in boxing, even talking about the referee being cricket. I forgot what fight it was, but y'all ain't say nothing about that Serafina interview. Y'all ain't want to. Yeah, well, he called us and told us, tell Jarrell Miller that it's going to be an easy night. Don't worry. I just concussed Anthony Joshua. And then, of course, the next day, that's when Jarrell Miller, popped dirty. But y'all the same ones talking shit about... See, but ain't it funny how when a so-called sparring partner of Fury claims an egg weight fell out of his bag, and he was saying that for some reason Fury punches felt extra hard. And I'm like, man... I was tempted one day. I don't know if I actually did. I don't remember. No, I don't think I did. I was going to actually wrap my hands and show y'all how you'd have to wrap an object in there and how you wind up breaking your fucking knuckles. You're going to do way more damage to your hand than you will the person's face you're hitting, right? But I guess people watch movies and think movie fighting is real fighting. But none of y'all talked about that Serafina video. But you know what's funny? You don't hear no excuses from AJ's side, whether it was the Usyk loss or the Ruiz loss. We had 2 fucking years of Glovegate and beyond because people still make these dumbass excuses up. Loaded glove, unloaded glove, floppy glove, egg weight in the glove, poisoned water, cryo chamber, heavy costume. I mean, really. All of this bullshit happened in a span of 3 fights, because Wilder came out and said Fury cheated in not 1, not 2, but all 3 fucking fights. And the crazy part was, I remember when Dante's Boxing Nation was showing that floppy glove shit. I'm like, this is from the first fight. What the fuck is he talking about? And I think he caught himself after that, and then he started following up to where now all of a sudden he's trying to find shit wrong with the first fight. The second fight, Wilder said he cheated in all 3. Remember at the end of that fight when he said, oh, I don't respect you. I don't respect you. Then he turns around the next day and tries to, congratulations. Well, why would you congratulate somebody that cheated, man? Why? And we all know Wilder, just like Jarrell Miller, he called that shit. Well, it's true. Like, you don't talk that shit to my face. No, that's what Wilder's nothing but a fucking bully. Remember how Wilder used to walk with his entourage? Like when he was arguing with Tony Bellew. Bellew was by himself. Wilder had his whole clique over there. His brother running his mouth. Marcellus talking all this shit like he's some tough guy, and he went and got knocked out in his very next fight. But all this shit that he was doing. Notice Wilder don't talk no shit to nobody's fucking face. He knows who to fuck with and who not to. He don't talk that shit. He talk about AJ behind his back. Talk about Eddie Hearn behind his back. Face to face is different. He don't say nothing. None of this shit. And what I don't like is a fake person. Yeah, I could see the fear in his eyes. He was scared of me, man. Yeah, he definitely was. Okay. Was he? Because you the one that got your ass whooped. Not him. Just saying. They're going to turn on Wilder should he lose this fight. And especially, like I said, if he gets beat bad. Watch the excuses. And remember, Matchroom used Zhang because they knew Wilder was washed up. You could see that shit in the Parker fight. You ain't never seen Wilder stand there and not punch, let his hands go. He knew Wilder was washed up. He used Zhang to prevent Wilder from fighting Anthony Joshua. Watch what I tell you. Just watch and listen. The embarrassment, the disappointment, the letdown. The fickle fucking fake fans that they are and all the hypocrisy, you're going to see it. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.